My name is David Harvey. I am the South East Coordinator for Tesla Owners Club UK. I'm here to chat with Toby Burrows, who has recently started up a new business called Testec Automotive and EV. Toby, can you tell us what sort of services you can offer to Tesla owners?
As it currently stands, I can offer servicing and maintenance of your Tesla vehicles, tyres, geometry, suspension work, minimal HV work I can do. Unfortunately, I can't take the batteries out as it currently stands because I'm yet to buy the equipment. Envisage that will be within the next 6 months that I'll have a ramp and the battery tables needed to remove the battery packs as well.
There are certain topics that crop up quite regularly on various Tesla forums, maintenance type work. So for example, could you do desiccant change and air conditioning recharge?
Yes, I can. I've got all the equipment needed to do aircon recharges and the desiccant bag replacement, yes.
As I understand it, electric cars air conditioning is not your normal automotive reconditioning, is that true?
It works very similar. It's more extensive and it's a large capacity when it comes to the gas side of things, generally, especially on a Tesla. In the general market, you wouldn't replace a desiccant bag, whereas on a Tesla you do. They are obviously, depending on the model of vehicle, on an S and an X, you do have a high voltage AC pump, an early Model 3, and then they moved over to a heat pump setup, which is obviously a different concept.
And the actual air conditioning gas is very special for electric vehicles, isn't it?
It's general market, to be fair. I've got the aircon machines that are both gases.
Brake fluid changes, I presume, present no problem?
No. All the equipment needed. Obviously a Tesla is DOT3. It's a little bit harder to get hold of in the general market, but we do have a supplier that will supply us with the DOT3 for that as well.
So the DOT3 I think is a minimum standard that Tesla require. Is it okay to use DOT4 if you can't get DOT3?
So when I was at Tesla, the factory told us not to use DOT4 because it actually made brake components squeak on operation, like the master cylinders, etc.
Battery coolant change is another one of those tasks that I don't think Tesla recommend doing that. Maybe it's 100,000 miles or 10 years, or what's the latest advice on that?
It's as long as it tests and it's obviously capable to a good minus figure of around about minus 40. My advice would be to leave it well alone. There is a large amount in a Tesla. Obviously the battery pack is full of coolant as well to cool the battery cells down. From my experience, it's not something that's regularly serviced. On
the low temperature protection, that's minus 40 degrees centigrade, and so you could use ordinary equipment. Is it hydrometer you'd use to check the freezing point?
Yeah.
MOTs, can you offer MOTs yet?
So we can't currently on site, we don't do them ourselves. We can get them done on customer requests, yes.
How about camera calibration? As
it currently stands, I do not have the equipment to do camera calibration. It's something I'm looking to in the future. A general market kit is very, very expensive. A Tesla one is available to purchase, but I'm unaware what the price of that is at the moment, but it is something that we are looking into the future, yes.
But is it only for the older Teslas? All the new Teslas have got automatic calibration, or you can do it through the screen, can't you?
Yes, you can within certain respects, depends how far it is. Again, if the camera's been played with by a third party and it's not fitted correctly, or it's been damaged or whatever else, sometimes you do need the board in front of the vehicle.
You've reminded me that sometimes there's quite a lot of debate about getting the windscreens changed on Teslas. Some people say that there's a lot of misunderstanding between Tesla and Autoglass about who can do what and the camera calibration. What's your kind of advice for someone who has a broken windscreen on a Tesla?
My advice, Tesla are fully fledged and experienced about replacement of the windscreens themselves, and they do all their own glass. It's something that is a bit unique in the industry because most other manufacturers and garages and workshops would always use a third-party supplier. Autoglass are fully aware of what to do. Like you say, the newer vehicles can be self-calibrated as long as they have been fitted correctly. When it comes to the camera side of things by the rear view mirror, they do seem to be a bit scared about doing so, from my experience. So they try and push customers in Tesla's direction. When I was there, we did do a lot of glass, predominantly roof and windscreens. Another
common weakness, I think, is the PTC heater.
Yes.
On some of the cars, or the early ones anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the kind of the sort of a job that you'd be able to do?
I can certainly assist. I can do Model X, no problem at all, because there is a fuse that tends to blow. You'll hear a pop when the PTC heater fails. But unfortunately, when it comes to Model S, the location of that fuse is in a position that you have to drop the battery pack. So currently, as it stands, I can't help replace that fuse because I do not have the equipment to drop the battery packs.
So Toby, on the subject of wheel alignment, what sort of equipment have you had to purchase, and what made you choose that particular type of equipment?
On site today, it is only a laser equipment, so there's no printout available. I have been in contact with several different companies since start of Testec, and I've actually put a deposit down on a Bluetooth setup which is fully digital, so I can actually do it on a 2-post ramp as well as a 4-post ramp. It's not designated just to be on a 4-post ramp.
Also, I see quite a few mentions of problems with the large rear drive units on the performance models and on the rear-wheel drive only vehicles, or particularly the Tesla Model S's. Any thoughts on how often to change the gearbox fluid?
Tesla do not give a time, as far as I'm aware, if I remember rightly, on replacement of that gearbox oil. Generally, from my experience, when the large drive unit fails, it's due to coolant ingress or water ingress from bad sealing of the high voltage cables and water seeping into the inverter in that area, or poor coolant track, and then at that point the water or the coolant would go into the motor area. I must admit, over the years, it was very common in the early days. It's not something that you see much of these days within the Tesla environment when it comes to replacement rear drive, drive units.
A lot of Tesla owners with cars that are just coming up to or just gone 8 years of age will be quite nervous. They'll be thinking about changing the car. They'll be worried about the low value of the car, and there's like be a whole load that would like to really hang on to it. So, for instance, if the large rear drive unit were to fail or give problems, is that something you could organise?
Something I can certainly replace, as long as it's available from Tesla. You can redeploy the firmware that's already in the vehicle, because unfortunately I can't add new firmware because I do not have the diagnostic equipment to do so. And at that point it should work as it should do, yes.
How do you secure your necessary Tesla parts?
Currently, as it stands, I use the Tesla EPC setup. At that point, order any parts online and they arrive with us. If customers do want to source their parts themselves, they can do so via the app, and at that point the parts can be picked up.
So looking to the long term, do you hope to eventually offer high voltage battery servicing and reconditioning?
Yes, definitely. Yeah, there's something that I'll be looking to in the future. With more and more vehicles that are on the road, and as they get older, things will fail, and it would be a service that I'd like to cater for, yeah.
How much do you charge per hour compared with a Tesla service centre?
Tesla is $165 an hour, I'm £80 an hour, plus VAT.
Toby, where do you see Testec being in about 5 years' time?
Obviously, Testec is in its infancy, it's only a couple of months in so far. I would like to see that we grow as a business. I start employing team members that are EV trained also, or apprenticeships. Long term, I would like to be able to cater for all aspects of the EV journey, whether it be battery, drive unit, general maintenance and servicing, and fully diagnostics. In
conclusion, what's the best way for Tesla owners to find out more about you and get in touch with you?
The best thing is to obviously email us on service at testecauto.com. Everything is all documented at that point, so I can keep track of all the vast amount of people that are contacting me already.
Toby Burrows from Testec Automotive and EV, thank you very much for your time and good luck.
Thank you very much.